Around 30 years ago, we had no idea if planets existed beyond our solar system. But today, thanks to better tools and lots of smart scientists, we've found more than 5,300 exoplanets. These are like alien worlds just waiting for us to explore. At first, most of these planets were huge gas giants, like the giants in our own solar system. But as we got better at looking, we started finding smaller planets that are a bit like Earth. Imagine Earth as our Goldilocks planet. Not too big, not too small, but just right. Well, we found over 50 planets that are kind of like Earth in size, and more than 800 that are smaller than half of Earth. That's pretty amazing. But here's the really exciting part. We're trying to find planets that could be like our home, where life as we know it could exist. These special planets need to be in a habitable zone around their star, where it's not too hot and not too cold. Just perfect. And guess what? We're getting better at finding these special planets. Sometimes, we discover whole systems of planets where more than one could be a great place for life to thrive. And there's even one system nearby in our Milky Way galaxy that's like that. Now, here's the cool new fact. Did you know that some planets are so close to their stars that they're too hot for life? But if you have a star that's cooler and not as bright, the habitable zone can be much closer to it. It's like finding the right spot for a cozy campfire. One of these interesting systems is called Gliese 667, or GJ 667 for short. It's a triple star system located in the Scorpius constellation, just about 23 light-years from us. What makes it super cool is that it's the first known system where a small star has multiple planets in its Goldilocks zone. It's like a star with its own family of planets. Think of GJ 667a as the big sibling star in this family. It's kind of orange-red and not as big or bright as our sun. Then there's GJ 667b, the middle sibling, also orange-red, but smaller and less bright. But here's the star that really stands out. GJ 667c, it's much smaller than our sun, and even though it's tiny and not very bright, it has a bunch of planets around it. At first, scientists thought there were just 3 planets, but when they looked again and used better tools, they found there might be 6 planets in this star's family. And the best part is that 3 or maybe even 4 of them could be great places for life, like super-Earths. So, what's a super-Earth, you ask? Well, it's like a big cousin of our own planet, Earth, but not as big as those giant planets like Jupiter and Saturn. Super-Earths can be made of rocks, or a mix of rocks and ice, and they might even have atmospheres that could support different kinds of life. Now let's take a closer look at a super interesting super-Earth called Gliese 667cb. This planet is the closest to its star, and it's a scorching hot place at a whopping 200 degrees C, 392 degrees F. It's about 5.5 times heavier than Earth, and has a super thick atmosphere. Plus, it zips around its star in just 7 days. That's way faster than our year. But wait, the real stars of the Gliese 667 system are 3 other planets that could be perfect for life. These planets are a bit farther from their star, and their sizes range from 1 to 5 times that of Earth. They're like the Goldilocks of planets, not too big and not too small, just right for habitability. First up is Gliese 667cc, the next closest planet. It's right on the inner edge of the star's habitable zone. This planet is about 3.8 times heavier than Earth and nearly twice as big. Its year is super short, just 28 Earth days. Scientists call it the holy grail of exoplanets because it's so similar to Earth, with an Earth similarity index of 0.85. But here's the cool fact you've been waiting for. Gliese 667c's habitable zone is really close to its star, much closer than our Earth's orbit around the Sun. If Earth were at that distance, it'd be an icy world. Gliese 667cc orbits its star about 8 times closer than we orbit the Sun, and because of this, it's likely one side of the planet is always in daylight, and the other side is always in the dark. Talk about a temperature roller coaster. Now remember, this planet gets less light than Earth does from the Sun, but most of it is infrared, which helps keep things warm and could lead to a climate similar to Earth. However, we're not sure if it has an atmosphere or how thick it might be, so we can't say for sure what the surface temperature would be like. But if it did have an Earth-like atmosphere, it could make the temperatures nice and pleasant, around 30 degrees C, 86 degrees F, even on the night side. So living there would be quite an adventure. Now, here's something fascinating. Gliese 667a and b, the other two stars in the system, are really far away, much farther than Pluto is from the Sun. But if you were on Gliese 667cc, you'd see them as a pair of bright stars during the day, and at night, they'd shine as brightly as a full moon. Our Sun, on the other hand, would look like a tiny dot in the distance. But there's a bit of a hitch. The nearby red dwarf star, Gliese 667c, can be a bit of a troublemaker. It likes to shoot out flares and intense bursts of radiation, even stronger than what our Sun can do. This could be a problem for any potential life on Gliese 667cc, since it's so close to its flaring host star. And to add to the challenge, the red dwarf's strong magnetism can create dark spots on its surface, which reduce the star's energy output for months. Plus, it doesn't emit much ultraviolet light, which could also make it tough for life as we know it to form. So, living on Gliese 667cc would be nothing like what we're used to here on Earth. Let's talk about how the weight of a planet can change things. Imagine you're on a super-Earth like Gliese 667cc. Because it's bigger than our Earth, the gravity there would be a whopping 60% stronger. So if you weigh 75 kilograms, 165 pounds, here on Earth, on Gliese 667cc, you'd feel as heavy as 120 kilograms, 265 pounds. Now here's a cool fact. Planets with more mass can hold on to bigger atmospheres. That means if Gliese 667cc has an atmosphere like Earth's, the air pressure would only be a bit higher. But if it had an atmosphere like Venus, it could have air pressure hundreds of times greater than what we feel on Earth. That would be like being deep underwater in Earth's oceans. But hold on. Life on Gliese 667cc might be a bit of a challenge. The planet gets less light than Earth, and the brightness can change a lot due to the star's flares. Plus, there's that heavy atmosphere and the high air pressure. But here's the thing, life is pretty adaptable, even here on Earth. Now, let's talk about the other two planets, Gliese 667ce and Cf. They're pretty similar and farther from their star, which means they get less warmth. That could make them too chilly for life as we know it. But if they have thick atmospheres, they might be cozy enough for life to thrive. Here's something mind-blowing. Having 3 planets in the habitable zone of one system is super rare, but having 4 is almost unheard of. In fact, some scientists even think 5 planets in this Gliese 667c system could be potentially habitable. That's a lot of possibilities, but there's a trick to it. The habitable zone around Gliese 667c has 2 limits. Planets inside these limits could have the right conditions for liquid water, which is essential for life as we know it. If a planet gets too close to the star, it heats up so much that water turns into vapor and escapes, making it uninhabitable. On the flip side, if a planet is too far from the star, it could freeze over. While gases like CO2 can warm it up, too much CO2 can cool it down by reflecting sunlight away. So, there's a delicate balance to find. And here's a new tidbit for you. Gliese 667c is about 22 light-years away from Earth. That's like 132 trillion miles. Quite a journey, right? Back in 2013, something super exciting happened in the world of astronomy. Astronomers revealed that a star called Gliese 667c has at least 6 planets swirling around it. And guess what? There's even a chance of a 7th planet, which they named GJ 667ch. Now, this new planet, GJ 667ch, is quite a hot topic. It might be the smallest planet ever discovered around star C, and it's positioned right between planets C and B. But here's the thing. Because it's so close to the star, it's super toasty, way too hot for any life to exist there. It's like an interstellar oven. But here's where it gets really cool. Planets F and E in this planetary party are confirmed to be in the habitable zone. That's the sweet spot where conditions could be just right for life to thrive. As for Planet D, its position isn't quite settled yet, so we're not entirely sure if it's in the habitable zone. This means that Gliese 667cc, Cf, Ce, and possibly even CD are all planets that could potentially support life. Imagine having so many options in one star system. Here's an interesting fact. M-dwarf stars, like Gliese 667c, are known for having lots of planets, especially those in the habitable zone. And guess what? M-dwarf stars make up over 70% of all the stars around us in the universe. So, there could be many more of these amazing planetary systems out there than we ever imagined. This discovery means scientists don't have to search through 10 stars to find a potentially habitable planet. They can just focus on one star system and find multiple candidates that could be like Earth 2.0. And guess what? Our cosmic exploration is getting better and better. With new and super advanced telescopes on the horizon, we're uncovering the secrets of the universe faster than ever before. So, what star system do you want to learn about next? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned for more incredible discoveries in the cosmos. And if you enjoyed this journey through the stars, don't forget to click that super thank you button. Thanks for watching.